Hello everyone, my name is Chlorophyll, but you can call me Phil. I'm from the Aquascape Guess what? We made our own fertilizer. Yay! We're super excited to help provide others with a holistic, inexpensive, and customizable fertilization kit. Man, that's a mouthful. Now, I know, you're probably like, another fertilizer on the market, but this is not like the others. We can guarantee you that. So let's talk a little bit about what makes the ASG Fertilization Kit so special. Well, right out of the gate, you get a lot of fertilizer. This kit comes with two 500 milliliter bottles, which is a little over 33 ounces, compared to Thrive and Easy Green, which give you a little less than 17 ounces. And we based our recipe off of Liebig's Law of the Minimum and the Redfield ratio, which helps provide all the nutrients your plants could ever need in the ratio in which plants uptake nutrients. And believe it or not, most all-in-ones just don't have enough potassium, and ours is packed with it, which will make your plants go crazy. The ASG Fertilization Kit is the most comprehensive, easiest to dose, super customizable, and the least expensive fertilization kit on the market. Yeah, you heard me. Best, easy, customizable, and cheap. Who wouldn't love that? And lastly, when you run out of fertilizer, we sell little refill packs, which are almost half the price. So you don't have to keep buying a new kit each time, keeping nutrients cheap for those ballers on a budget out there. That's what's up. So let's dive into what comes in this kit. The ASG Fertilization Kit comes with two 5 milliliter dosing bottles. These will allow you to precisely measure up to 75 milliliters of liquid for dosing purposes. It also comes with two larger baggies, which are your salts. One bag has all your macros in it, which are your nitrates, phosphates, and potassium, and the other bag has all your micros in it, which is all your trace elements. And lastly, you get the cutest little funnel, just for helping you get the salts in the bottle a little easier. We'll put links in the description below to all this good stuff. Make sure to use YT15, like YouTube 15, at checkout to get 15% off your order when purchasing your first ASG fertilization kit. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, how do I make this stuff? It seems so scary. So let's go over that. I'll start off by saying that mixing up a batch is really easy. We suggest you start with our recommended recipe, and when you get more comfortable with dosing our kit, you can mod the recipe from there to address your tank's specific needs. As stated before, you have two larger bags that have your salts in them. All of the salts in the macros bag get emptied into your macro bottle, and the salts from your micro bag get emptied into your micro bottle. Don't forget to use that cute little funnel, as it'll make it super easy. Once your salts are in the appropriate bottles, add 500 milliliters of really hot RODI water or distilled water. You can use your tap water in a pinch, but we don't recommend it as your salts might not dissolve. Then you cap these puppies up and shake them. Bam! You got yourself some fertilizer, or as I call them, ferts. As a heads up, it can take a few hours for the salts to dissolve. We generally make this stuff the night before, and it's ready to dose by the morning. And again, the cool thing is, if you run out, all you gotta do is pick up a refill pack, and you got yourself some more ferts. Oh yeah! It's really this easy, you guys. So then let's get into how much of this stuff do we dose? That's pretty straightforward. All you need to do is boost up your nitrates by 10 parts per million, and keep them there throughout the week. For high energy CO2 injected tanks, you'll dose around 1 milliliter per gallon. For low energy non-CO2 injected tanks, you'll dose around 0.25 milliliters per gallon. But don't get too hung up on how much you're dosing, as every tank is going to be a little different. Again, just focus on boosting your nitrates up an additional 10 parts per million from where they naturally sit, and you'll be golden. A good example for you is if the fish in your tank are producing enough nitrates to keep your tank's nitrates around 5 parts per million throughout the week, then you'll want to dose enough ASG fertilizer to boost your nitrates up an additional 10 parts per million, keeping them hovering around 15 parts per million throughout the week. Now when dosing our fertilizer, you alternate the bottles throughout the week. So you'll dose the macros Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and the micros Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Sunday you won't dose at all, and you'll just process a 50% water change. If you're dosing too much, you'll end up seeing green dust algae on your glass. If you're dosing too little, you'll see green spot algae on your plants and glass. We're going to create another more in-depth video about all the ins and outs of this fertilization kit, so keep an eye out for that. Until we complete that video, we did write a little article on all the ins and outs, which we'll post a link in the description below. But let's recap what the ASG Fertilization Kit is all about. The ASG Fertilization Kit is the least expensive, most effective, and only customizable fertilization kit on the market. What makes it so inexpensive is you're not paying someone to mix a bunch of salts and water for you. And with our kits, you're getting about twice the amount of fertilizer at 32 ounces versus the other all-in-ones that are on the market. What makes it so effective is the formula is based off of Liebig's Law of the Minimum, which teaches us that we need to provide all the nutrients a plant could need at all times, and the Redfield ratio, which is the ratio in which plants uptake nutrients, so we don't run into imbalances which can cause things like hair algae. And it's the most customizable fertilization method because we get to decide what compounds we put into our mix. If your fish are producing a lot of nitrates, put less nitrates into the mix. If you have phosphates in your water, then don't add the phosphates into the mix. If you are running another fertilizer and you want to take your fertilizer game up to the next level, then I would suggest trying out one of our kits. And when you run out, it's quick and easy to get a refill pack. Just don't forget to use YT15 at checkout to get 15% off your first order. And when dosing, add enough to boost your nitrates up another 10 parts per million, alternating the bottles you dose each day. And on the 7th day, skip fertilization altogether and process a 50% water change. If you're seeing green dust algae, you're probably dosing too much. If you're noticing green spot algae, then you're probably dosing too lean. That's pretty much it. You're going to see that all the new growth on your plants are super happy and healthy, and you'll feel like a little chemist along the way. And if you haven't done so already, check out our website at aquascapeguide.com for more on the science on keeping planted tanks happy and healthy. And again, we'll put links in the description below to everything related to the ASG Fertilization Kit. Alrighty, we've got to go pack up some orders as these are selling faster than hotcakes at a trucker stop. We'll see you in the next video. Later, Scapers.